In the serene village of Umuofia, there lived twin sisters, Adaku and Chiamaka. They were identical in appearance but vastly different in temperament. Adaku was kind-hearted and gentle, while Chiamaka was ambitious and often cruel. Their parents had passed away when they were just teenagers, leaving them to fend for themselves. Adaku, the elder by a few minutes, took on the role of caregiver, while Chiamaka harbored resentment towards her sister. From a young age, Adaku had always attracted attention with her kind demeanor and gentle beauty. The villagers adored her, and many young men were drawn to her compassionate nature. Chiamaka, on the other hand, felt overshadowed and often took out her frustrations on her sister. She would beat Adaku for the smallest reasons and gossip about her with her friends, spreading lies to tarnish her sister's reputation. Despite the maltreatment, Adaku never retaliated. She continued to work hard, tending to their small farm and helping anyone in need. Her resilience only seemed to fuel Chiamaka's envy. One day, news spread through the village that a wealthy young man named Obinna was coming to Umuofia to find a bride. Obinna was known for his wisdom and kindness, and his family was one of the most respected in the neighboring village. The news excited the entire village, especially the young women who dreamed of marrying such a nobleman. Chiamaka saw this as an opportunity to finally outshine her sister. She made sure to look her best every day, wearing her finest clothes and practicing her charms. Adaku, unaware of her sister's schemes, continued with her daily chores, not particularly concerned about the arrival of the young suitor. When Obinna finally arrived, the villagers held a grand feast in his honor. Adaku, as usual, was busy helping prepare the food and serve the guests. Obinna noticed her immediately. He was captivated by her humility and the way she gracefully moved about, tending to everyone's needs. Chiamaka, sensing Obinna's interest in Adaku, felt a pang of jealousy. She had to act quickly to ensure that she would be the one to win his heart. Over the next few weeks, Obinna spent more time in Umuofia, getting to know the villagers and the twin sisters. He admired Adaku's gentle nature and was impressed by her hard work and dedication to the community. Chiamaka, on the other hand, tried her best to win his favor by flaunting her beauty and making herself appear more desirable. One evening, Obinna invited Adaku for a walk by the river. They talked for hours, sharing stories and laughing. Obinna was enchanted by her wisdom and kindness. He knew that she was the one he wanted to marry. However, Chiamaka had been watching them from afar, her jealousy growing with each passing moment. As days turned into weeks, Obinna's visits became more frequent, and it became clear to everyone that he had chosen Adaku. The villagers were delighted, but Chiamaka was seething with anger. She couldn't bear the thought of her sister marrying such a nobleman while she remained in the shadows. One night, Chiamaka devised a plan to eliminate her sister from the competition. She waited until Adaku was asleep and then locked her in a small, unused storeroom at the back of their house. She made sure that no one would hear her cries for help. The next morning, Chiamaka dressed in one of Adaku's finest dresses and went to meet Obinna. She pretended to be her sister, mimicking her gentle voice and kind demeanor. Obinna, unaware of the switch, was slightly confused by the subtle differences in behavior but attributed it to the nervousness of the impending marriage. Days turned into weeks, and Obinna began to notice more differences in the woman he believed to be Adaku. She seemed more aloof, less attentive to others' needs, and her once gentle nature seemed forced. However, his love for the Adaku he had initially known kept him from seeing the truth. Meanwhile, Adaku remained locked in the storeroom, weak from lack of food and water. She tried to call for help, but her voice was too faint to be heard. She prayed every night for someone to find her and for Obinna to see through her sister's deceit. One day, as Obinna and the impostor Adaku were taking a walk, he asked her a question about a story they had shared by the river on one of their earlier walks. Chiamaka's heart raced as she realized she didn't know the answer. Adaku, do you remember the story I told you about my grandmother and the magical tree? Obinna asked, looking deeply into her eyes. Chiamaka stammered, trying to piece together an answer. Of course, Obinna. It was a beautiful story. Obinna frowned, sensing something was off. What did I say the tree's magic could do? Chiamaka's mind went blank. She had no idea what Obinna was talking about. Oh, it could grant wishes, she guessed. Obinna's eyes narrowed. That's not what I said, Adaku. The tree could heal the sick. Why are you lying to me? Realization dawned on Obinna. This woman was not the Adaku he had fallen in love with. He felt a surge of anger and betrayal. Who are you? He demanded, his voice rising. Where is Adaku? Chiamaka's facade crumbled. She fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. I'm sorry, Obinna. I wanted to be with you. I couldn't stand seeing my sister take everything from me. She's locked in the storeroom at our house. Obinna didn't waste a moment. He ran to the house, his heart pounding with fear and anger. He found the storeroom and broke the lock, finding Adaku weak and barely conscious. He carried her out, holding her tightly as she cried. The entire village of Umuofia was shaken by the revelation of Chiamaka's treachery. Whispers and murmurs filled the air as villagers discussed the shocking events. The once quiet and serene village was now abuzz with gossip and outrage. How could one sister do such a thing to the other? The betrayal was a topic of discussion at every gathering, and the villagers expressed their collective disbelief and anger towards Chiamaka. Chiamaka, overwhelmed with guilt and remorse, tried to apologize to her sister. She approached Adaku with tearful eyes, her voice trembling with regret. Adaku, please, I am so sorry for everything I did. I let my jealousy consume me, and I hurt you in ways I can't even begin to comprehend. Please, forgive me. Adaku, still weak from her ordeal, looked at her sister with a mixture of sorrow and confusion. The bond of sisterhood ran deep, but the wounds inflicted by Chiamaka's actions were fresh and painful. Adaku found herself torn between forgiving her sister and protecting herself from further harm. The villagers watched closely, their hearts aching for Adaku. Many of them had seen her kindness and generosity firsthand, and they couldn't understand how Chiamaka could betray such a gentle soul. Some urged Adaku to stay away from Chiamaka, fearing that she might hurt her again. Others encouraged forgiveness, reminding her that they were family and that forgiveness was a virtue. Days turned into weeks as Adaku wrestled with her emotions. She sought solace in her faith and the wisdom of the elders. She prayed for guidance, hoping to find the strength to make the right decision. She spoke to Obinna about her dilemma, and he supported her unconditionally, understanding the complexity of the situation. Adaku, whatever you decide, know that I am here for you, Obinna said gently, holding her hand. Forgiveness is a noble act, but your well-being is equally important. Follow your heart, and I will stand by you. Adaku took his words to heart. She knew that holding on to anger and resentment would only cause more pain. She also realized that true forgiveness required strength and courage. After much contemplation, she decided to forgive her sister, hoping that this act of grace would heal both of their hearts. One evening, as the sun set over the village, Adaku sought out Chiamaka. She found her sitting alone by the river, the place where their bond had once been strongest. Chiamaka looked up, her eyes filled with tears and remorse. "Chiamaka," Adaku began softly, "I have thought long and hard about everything. You are my sister, and despite all that has happened, I still love you. I choose to forgive you, not because what you did was right, but because holding on to this pain will only hurt us both." Chiamaka sobbed, overwhelmed by her sister's compassion. "Thank you, Adaku. I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I promise I will do everything in my power to make amends." The sisters embraced, their bond renewed by forgiveness. The villagers, witnessing this moment of reconciliation, were moved to tears. They admired Adaku's strength and the depth of her character. It was a lesson for all, a reminder that forgiveness and love could heal even the deepest wounds. With time, the village slowly began to heal from the events that had transpired. Adaku and Obinna continued their courtship, and their love only grew stronger. The villagers admired Adaku's strength and resilience, and they celebrated the couple's union with joy. Chiamaka, though forgiven, still struggled to find her place in the village. She worked hard to earn back the trust and respect of her community. She assisted in the fields, helped with village events, and showed kindness to those she had wronged. The villagers slowly warmed up to her, seeing her genuine efforts to change. As the wedding day approached, excitement filled the air. The entire village came together to prepare for the grand celebration. Adaku wore a beautiful dress, a gift from Obinna, and her smile radiated happiness. During the wedding feast, Obinna stood up to give a toast. "To my beautiful wife, Adaku. Your strength and kindness have shown me what true love is. I am honored to spend the rest of my life with you." Adaku blushed, her heart filled with love for Obinna. "And to you, Obinna, for your unwavering support and love. Together, we can overcome anything." The villagers cheered, raising their glasses to the happy couple. It was a day that would be remembered for years to come. As the years passed, Adaku and Obinna built a life filled with love and happiness. They had children, who grew up hearing the story of their parents' love and the lessons of forgiveness and resilience. Adaku continued to help the villagers, her gentle nature touching everyone she met. Chiamaka, too, found her own path to happiness. She returned to Umuofia after several years, a changed woman. She had learned the value of hard work and the importance of kindness. She sought Adaku's forgiveness once more, and this time, the villagers saw her genuine remorse and welcomed her back. Adaku and Chiamaka rebuilt their relationship, learning to support each other and celebrate their individual strengths. They realized that their bond as sisters was unbreakable, despite the challenges they had faced. The story of Adaku and Chiamaka became a cherished folktale in Umuofia, a lesson in forgiveness, resilience, and the power of love. It was a reminder that true happiness comes from within and that kindness and hard work can overcome even the darkest of times. And so, the village of Umuofia thrived, its people united by the lessons of the twin sisters. Adaku and Obinna's love story became an inspiration to all, a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the enduring power of love.